Ever find yourself wondering how the heck ancient civilizations understood like the whole world around them? It's like their way of looking at things was totally different. Yeah. So today we're diving deep into ancient Kemet, Egypt, to explore their way of thinking. And it's actually still super relevant even after like thousands of years. Right. And the cool thing is we're not just like digging up old history here. No way. We're gonna break down a whole worldview. Like a way of understanding reality. A whole different way of seeing things. Yeah, that shaped one of the most like significant civilizations ever. Totally. And to help us navigate this, we have Stephanie Tisdale's work. Oh yeah, her work is awesome. Her master's thesis is like it's seriously impressive. I know, right? The ancient Kemetic worldview and self-liberation, MDW, NTR, and seeing with SIA. So good. Catchy title. But yeah, it's like a pleasure map, basically. It is leading us to this incredible intellectual tradition. MDW NTR, if you heard of this. Okay, so MDW NTR, it's often translated as like divine speech, but there's gotta more to it. Way more to it. It's not just like words on a page. Yeah, it's a philosophy, a way of life. You know what I mean? That's what's so cool about it, I think. It's not just some like old dusty text. Yeah, it's a complete system of thought. Absolutely. But okay, before we go too far, yeah, let's back up. Let's lay some groundwork. For sure, for sure. To really get ancient Kemet, we gotta start with Africa. Okay. The birthplace of humanity, right? Hey, home to some of the earliest like mind-blowing innovation. The OG innovators. I'm talking about way, way back. Okay, so archaeologists have found tools in Africa. Get out of here. I'm serious. Dating back 1.5 million years. So wait, but that's sink in for a sec. 1.5 million years ago, our ancestors were already problem solving, being all creative and intentional with their tools. That's insane. Like it makes you think about how long humans have been, figuring stuff out. We hear about the cradle of civilization, but it feels like, I don't know, maybe we haven't always given it the credit it deserves. That's a really good point. Western history, the way it's been written, it's biased. Often it's left out or downplayed the contributions of African civilizations. Like imagine trying to tell a story in music, but you just ignore a whole continent of musical traditions. That's exactly what it's like. We're missing a huge chunk of the human story. Exactly, a vital piece. And here's an example. You got Hegel, this big time philosopher, and he actually said Africa had no real history. Come on, that's just, I know, it sounds crazy, but that theory still has an impact today. Wow. Makes you realize we have to be careful, whose voices are being heard, whose stories are being told, even in history. Good thing we have scholars like John Henrik Clark and Shikan Dia. Those guys were amazing. They dedicated their lives to uncovering and celebrating the intellectual traditions of Africa. Like real pioneers. They really were. They recognized that knowledge is all connected. Oh yeah, like a web. It's not just separate subjects. And how the West likes to put things in boxes. Oh, they saw the bigger picture. And that's how we can start to understand the significance of African thought. It's like we're putting together a giant puzzle. And NDWNTR is a big piece. And what's so interesting to me is it's not just about writing, this whole philosophy. Yeah, a way of life. It really is. It's like this framework for getting your thoughts, your words, your actions all in line, living in harmony. Yeah, with yourself, the universe. The ancient Egyptians, they broke it down into these three core concepts: Sia, who, and Rika. Okay, I'm following so far. Break it down for me. Let's get into these pillars. Okay, so Sia. A lot of times it gets translated as like exceptional clarity, yeah, but it's more than just, thinking straight. Right. Gotta be. Imagine Sia as like your personal BS detector. In this day and age with all the fake news and everything. Oh yeah, for sure. It's about making your thoughts line up with something bigger, a higher purpose, cosmic order, whatever you want to call it. So it's less about like what's for dinner tonight and more like how does my dinner fit into the grand scheme of like the universe kind of thing. You got it. That's a great way to put it. And this whole idea of clarity, alignment, it's everywhere in ancient Egyptian culture. There's this great story Tisdale talks about in her thesis about the Kushite pharaoh Shabaka. Oh wait, Kushite pharaoh. I thought we were talking Egypt here. Yeah, we are. But it's important to remember Kemet was part of this bigger African world, right? Kingdoms, cultures, all connected. The Kushites, they were this powerful kingdom, ancient Africa, close ties to Kemet. Anyway, Shabaka, this Kushite pharaoh, he finds this old text like falling apart. No, he doesn't just toss it. Instead, he has it restored, copied, the whole nine yards. He was like, this knowledge is too important to lose. Exactly. And it might not have even been his culture directly. Right. But he understood that knowledge is precious. It's like this powerful example of valuing that cultural memory, realizing that knowledge, even ancient knowledge, it still matters today. Yeah. And that reverence for knowledge. It kind of connects to our next pillar, who. Okay, Henry was who. How does this one fit in? So who, it's often translated as like authoritative utterance, which sounds kind of formal. It's a, yeah, but think of it like building a house. Your thoughts. That's the foundation. Your words are the framework. And your actions, they're the bricks, the mortar holding it all together. Okay, so it's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. Exactly. And that brings us to the last pillar, hookah. It often gets translated as extraordinary effectiveness. Ooh, I like that. Right. It's where we go from thinking and talking to actually doing. Hika is taking those clear thoughts, those words you've aligned with, and putting them into practice. It's like, all right, less thinking, more doing. Exactly. Do we have like actual examples of how this all worked in ancient Kemet? I need something concrete. We totally do. One of the most amazing examples is this thing called the Great Hymn to Aten. It was written by Amenopis V. You might know him as Akhenaten. Oh, right. Akhenaten, the pharaoh who was all about the sun god, right? That's the one. Okay, so picture this. A ruler, a poet, standing under the Egyptian sky, like over 4,000 years ago. I'm trying to imagine, and he's writing this hymn to the sun. It's this powerful tribute to its life-giving force. I can almost feel that desert sun, hear the Nile flowing. What kind of stuff did Akhenaten write about in this hymn? He describes the sun's journey across the sky, how it brings light and warmth to the land, sustains all living things. But it's deeper than just like a nature poem. He dives into the sun's unseen aspects. What do you mean? Like he recognized these invisible forces that nurture life on a whole other level. So he wasn't just observing nature. He was trying to understand like the interconnectedness, the hidden forces behind everything. He was seeing with Sia. You got it. And that's where it gets really cool because this way of thinking, this ancient Kemetic way with the clarity, the integrity, the action, it's not just some ancient history lesson. It's crazy relevant to how we navigate the world today. Okay, so you're saying this ancient wisdom, this MDW NTR thing can help us in the 21st century. I'm listening, but like connect the dots for me. Think about it. Information overload. Right. Opinions, ads, everybody's yelling at you online. Don't even get me started. It's exhausting. And that's why I'm saying this Sia thing, this ancient Egyptian exceptional clarity. It's like they knew this was coming. We need that BS detector. Yeah, more than ever, right? Exactly. Yeah, it's like trying to have a real conversation in a world of, memes and hot takes and all that noise. And that's what hook comes in. That authoritative utterance. Remember, thoughts, matching words, matching actions. That's how you cut through all that. It means realizing your words have power and choosing to speak with, integrity. Yes, with purpose. And then Hector comes in. The extraordinary effectiveness part. Because we've got big problems in the world, right? Climate change, social justice, all of the good intentions aren't enough anymore. We need action, effective action, that based on like real wisdom and purpose. So this ancient wisdom, it's like a guidebook or a toolkit to not just survive, but to actually thrive. That's a great way to put it. And the amazing thing is these tools, they were forged like thousands of years ago by real people. They went through it all just like we are now, exactly. And it reminds us we're not alone in this. We're all connected to each other, to nature, to everyone who came before us. Yes. And if we can tap into that, if we can start seeing the world with that kind of Sia, what could we accomplish? It's exciting to think about, honestly, right? Learning from the past to create a better future. And that's the beauty of a deep dive like this. It's not about like memorizing fact. It's about sparking something, curiosity, right? Yes, questioning things, opening yourself up to new ways of seeing the world and your place in it. This has been amazing. So much to think about. Thank you. Thank you.